Welcome back, everyone, to another fantastic game fan stream. We're going to be playing a little bit more of Dark Souls 2 DLC. See if we can beat up that slumbering dragon.
Yeah.
Pick up from where we last left off. But before we do, friendly reminder, Reaper Book 1.
Oh.
Still funding on Indiegogo.
How many days are left?
10 days left.
And what is 10 in German?
I don't know, you tell me. Got him.
It's like Zane, I think. Zane or Zahn. One of them is teeth, and the other one is 10.
Okay.
So.
Well, there you have it.
But I'm not the.
And, yeah, we released the song today.
Yeah, the Bardcore thing, huh?
Yeah. People seem to really like that. I'm glad, naturally. Wouldn't mind doing another one of those things. I appreciate the style of like modern medieval music. Sounds nice. It also like shows an appreciation for that art form that has been kind of forgotten.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll be getting into some Dark Souls 2.
I've been noticing my like posture's terrible. Always terrible.
Yeah, it happens when you're like on the computer a lot. Oh yeah, I was going with this. I don't think I will go with this though. I think I'll go back to my sword and maybe I'll just have some repair powder on my quick bar.
That is a strategy.
That's what I'm thinking.
You know what I'm thinking?
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking you farm another smelter hammer.
Yeah, that sounds like something you would be thinking. I
And
only
then
got 2.
You hold
I should get
2
more.
smelter hammers. Actually, if you hold a second smelter hammer, you can't use that shield. And that shield is actually pretty good at just like buffing your stats. You could also use the stamina restoration shield.
That's true. Does this guy sell repair powder? He doesn't. He seems like he should, though, doesn't he? She just sells rocks, right? He might sell repair powder.
Repair powder is sold by the, is it Chancellor Welliger? Is that what his name is? Chancellor Welliger is the guy that forgives you for beating up NPCs. It's the guy, it's the steward in the castle. There's only one castle. Drang Lake Castle.
Well, that's not really true, but...
Okay, well, Drang Lake Castle. Now you know the castle. The first one is probably it's going to be the fastest. Yeah, you're going to want to go there and then up the ladder. Stab some guys in the back and you'll get yourself...
having a wonderful time. Stop it.
I had an interesting chat today about... the effects of different like technology things on
He's still alive?
yeah,
Damn.
I can't even see his health bar.
Ugh. Bullshit.
is the power attack still horizontal?
Whoop.
The evasion, next level. No, but it was like in reference to Texas banned Pornhub. So someone is saying like, oh, should ban online dating, etc.
Alright.
You don't have to go that direction. You just go through there. To the right. I don't really know if, like, banning online dating actually makes sense, but certainly, like, it's not, I don't know. It's not super pleasant.
No, I would say not.
But, I guess kind of necessary. It's another tool to, like, find someone. Oh, hey there, David Myers and Marshall. Welcome, welcome. Are you kidding me? Pornhub right away. Well, it's a current event. Like, what was that, today or something? Got banned in Texas.
Huh? These are kind of expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they expensive?
I don't know. You could always learn the spell to repair stuff.
There's got to be a cheaper place to buy them.
No.
No? Are you sure?
Well, there might be, but he has infinite, so the price when you're sitting on a repair powder factory, you get to name your price, I guess.
I suppose.
If you want extra runes, you can just go murder
Runes. Coming
the
off of
giant
Elden Ring.
lord. Yeah, some runes.
Yeah, of course.
You go kill the giant lord over and over again. That'll give you your shit done. But yeah, no, I had kind of interesting chat about different like technologies effects on, I guess, like specifically men, but like at least that's where my head was at.
Right.
Because I don't.
There's a lot of bad effects for sure.
Because they named a bunch of things that they thought should also be banned, but the online dating is like the most interesting one because I think it's the least. It's the weakest case, right? Which makes it kind of the most interesting point to bring up. I don't know. I think it honestly brings out the absolute worst in women. It's like online dating.
Yeah.
And I think it turns men into like something pretty akin to a sociopath. Because like it trains you to have no attachments to any of the women you're talking to. And it like the healthiest way to get through it is to like not think about them as people, and that's like not generally dehumanizing humans is not what I would consider to be healthy. And this is a real goddamn dragon, huh?
Yeah, he does not want to stay put.
I don't know. You know, a dragon is such a iconic thing for a fantasy like battle. I don't know how you can fight a dragon with like swords and shields and bows and stuff. It really feels like you need like a jeep with a machine gun on top.
That sounds like something a Quiddit would say.
Because yeah, like the very common experience for a guy on doing online dating is like a girl will randomly like delete their account or block them or whatever, and just randomly like just be like, not really feeling this conversation. There's hundreds more will just appear for me, or like even if they delete their account and then they go make it again, they'll get bombarded with new messages. So there's this very... It, like, gives men this feeling of being disposable. And I don't think that's healthy.
No. Oh yeah, just go straight into the toxic. It's fine.
What's that, like, thing sticking out of its chest?
Oh, that's the spear, where he was, like, pierced by the guy that we picked the item up from.
Okay.
It caused the poison in his heart to ooze out. That's what it said, anyway.
Wow. You iframed that shit, huh?
Man,
it looks like you have no choice but to bring out the bunks.
It degraded so fast.
Listen, take your shirt off, pull out a big bunk, flex your muscles.
God damn it, Adam, shut up. You fucking god damn it, why didn't it click? He wasn't even on me when I started clicking. He just changed his mind. This is all because I tried to use the big bonk, honestly, though. That was a mistake. I should have just used the sword that was right next to it.
I don't know, dude. Don't blame me. You're the one who doesn't put away any of your stuff into storage. You could just put it all in the bonfire. You don't have to hold everything. Maybe you aren't supposed to kill him, but pull the spear out like the lion with a thorn in his paw?
I don't think that's an option. That's an interesting theory.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I saw there was some Elden Ring mod. There was a big overhaul, and the key to get into the academy is in the dragon's mouth now. And if you poise break the dragon, instead of going over to the head and critical hitting, you can take the key out and run away. Or you could probably take the key out and then riposte, but, you know. Whatever takes more damage where the spear is.
But really, him backing up, that hurt.
I wonder who's dealing 4 damage. There's occasionally to be a 4 damage tick.
It's probably Ellie.
Oh, that's right, with the punches. You know, credit where credit's due, this dragon can sleep with a spear through its chest. Much better at sleeping than I am. Did that lightning spear do 3 damage? Yeah, it looks like this guy is like super immune to lightning.
Yeah. I hit dodge and it just didn't work.
It's not mentioned. It just says resistance fire, weakness magic and dark. Immune to poison.
I think the summons are just supposed to do really bad damage.
Yeah.
And they don't really have it make much sense.
Oh yeah, I was right. The spear that pierces through his back and chest can be attacked to inflict high damage. It is possible to cut off his tail. Cutting off his tail increases his flying attack usage. And you don't get any weapon out of it.
That stinks.
Did you ever get Sanantier's spear?
You mean the spear that we get at the beginning of this fight?
No. It's a treasure in the doors of Pharaohs, and it's like a spear that has a big rock at the end of it. And if you manage to break it, you unlock a...
Oh yeah, and then it becomes a better item.
Yeah. So attack the spear, yeah.
I'm doing my best. He moves a lot.
So under resistances, they don't mention lightning, but they do mention that with 55 faith, Great Lightning Spear does 15 damage.
He's still on me? Fucker.
It's kind of amusing, the different strategies they list. One of them is to equip a whole shit ton of different armor pieces and then cast Flash Sweat, so you'll be immune to poison and fire.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly creative.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that solves a problem.
If I'm 5 degrees too hot, I get no sleep. I think it might be easier to sleep with a spear through my chest than in a hot room. Yeah.
Well, like the lore behind this dragon is that he was like slowly being poisoned over time, and the spear, though it was meant to kill him, it actually like saved him in a way because it let the poison leak out of his heart.
And now there's so much poison
and now
in his
he's
heart
awake.
that the entire like giant realm of this city is all poisoned.
Man, he just does that attack every time, right? I saw someone get close enough to him to like hit him before that attack, but I can't run that fast apparently. Gotta max out my agility.
Oh, and we've got some good news from Love to Draw. He is not ghosted.
Cool.
The girl just took 3 days without responding.
Sometimes that happens.
Sometimes it does. And
Stop flying, you fuck.
this is why some men hate women.
Oh my god! It's like the most unlucky round out of all of them. Every time I got close, he just went into the air. Which is realistic, but it's fucking annoying.
Yeah, like how do you... Because like with D&D, you can kind of put together a dragon fight. I don't really know how you put together an authentic dragon fight. Because in Elden Ring, it always just feels like... You know, like it always just feels like you can just stand by the dragon's feet. That doesn't make any sense. The dragon would just like look down and like hit you immediately. Like they kind of act like you're not there. And it's kind of odd. I cannot sleep hot, it's freaking miserable. So Marshall, would you rather a spear be thrust through your chest and then have to sleep with that? Or sleep with it like being like 90 degrees in your room? Oh, and David Myers did try out the spear and said it wasn't that good. People say the moveset is like super masterful. I don't know.
Yeah, what do all the people know?
Can't believe you're referencing that song.
I dodged. Visibly. Ah.
Has anyone ever seen the live-action Densha Otoko movie? My Japanese teacher had us watch it in class when we were studying the hikikomori phenomenon. Hikikomori, that sounds so familiar.
It's like when you're shut in.
Oh, okay. I can sleep on my side, screw being hot. Yeah. I sleep on my stomach, so I would have some trouble. But I do think it would be easier to sleep with a spear through my chest than sleeping hot.
Why? The timing.
Yeah, I haven't watched many live-action Japanese movies. Seen a bunch of anime movies, though.
I think that's most people.
They don't seem to put that much effort into their live-action movies.
Well, they don't have a huge budget to work with.
Yeah. Definitely more fun to fight to slay a dragon with a party.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have Steelheart, Ellie.
Oh, right. She punches too, though.
Okay. Doesn't look like she has any fist weapons. She's just going in.
Mm.
Hey, JB, do antidotes do anything to enemies? No. No, but I know what you're thinking. You're thinking of like Final Fantasy with the use the Phoenix down on the enemy. Can't really use items on others. For like the most part, there's like some stuff you can throw and whatever. But otherwise. Samurai Fiction was good though. The Japanese Unforgiven 2013 was awesome. It's a shot-for-shot remake of Clint Eastwood's Unforgiven set in feudal Japan. Interesting. Oh, and the movie is about a shut-in who meets a QT 3.14. A solid plot.
Oh, that was quick.
Cutie pie, Adam. Yeah, no, I get it. I just like saying 3.14.
Well, that was quick.
I would go for the flask. Because in this fight, you tend to have a ton of time between getting hit.
Well, sometimes it depends if he's on me or on this guy or...
.304. Where does that come from? 304? That's a...
It's an error code.
Is it, though?
That's what I know it from. I could be...
Like an error code or an area code?
No, error. Error.
Okay. I think it's a hoe. I need a flip phone in front of me, but Pretty sure.
Oh, come on. He's right there. Get him.
Yeah. No. 304?
Whatever. Who goes Y?
3 is DEF. 4 is H. Maybe a 403 to be Ho. 493, I guess. Oh, yeah. I think you were thinking of a 404.
What'd you say?
304. A 304. Is a Ho. Oh, type it into a calculator and turn it upside down? Damn. Calling a bitch a slut on a calculator?
I think there's more effective ways. Oh my god. Why does it do that?
Pull out your TI-80.
I'm gonna kill myself. Well, I did my best. Kinda just not enough good swords in the vicinity.
We'll just put the rest of your swords away. Oh, yeah. Difference between a bitch and a slut. That's like ancient wisdom. You know, but like they just mash on A. Brrrr. Oh, the Drang Lake sword. You used to use that.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot about that. Hey, you know the Dragon Tooth is not that you want to use big bonks, but the Dragon Tooth is actually a decent.
Bonk ability.
Yeah, you should keep the Dragon Tooth on you. Just in general.
What do I press?
I'll go press to go down. And then it's right bumper. Yeah, it's the left.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, you should keep it just because it has fire resistance on it. So there are some cases where it's good to like put it on so you can run through flames or something. It's
Interesting.
It's like full smelter armor plus the dragon tooth is almost fire immunity. Which is, I suppose, another, like, thing to try. I know tons of bitches if that's the case. Guys, you guys gotta neg harder. It's so funny when they lock onto you and they're just like... Kind of a cool fire effect they got going on.
Yeah. It's a shame that it creates a Maz mixed smog.
Oh, we got another review for Horizon Quest.
Ooh.
Very stylish attack.
Yeah. Totally what I was going for.
Oh no, Adam, don't steer them wrong. You guys got together because you took her somewhere you could be alone and then armed her. Yes, I seduced Trisha with video games.
Goddamn right.
No, but I mean, like, if, I think negging works on exactly the type of girl who sleeps with everybody. It's because girls care about winning in social situations in a different way than men do. Even if they hate someone, they want them to like them or have to pretend to like them.
Yeah, he's coming over to me. He loves me. Welcome time. Oh, fuck.
Take your shirt off.
I know.
Welcome to the gun show. Nice dodge. It's like a movie trailer transition. And was that earthquake today in your neck of the woods? Yeah. Yeah, it was in New Jersey. I don't know, is that really like global news that there was an earthquake?
I guess it's a little bit surprising that it's in such an odd area.
Yeah, there's been like It's been like. I mean, the last earthquake in New Jersey was 2011 or something, and then the other ones are like too small to notice. But there was like two between them. So it's not my first earthquake, but it's the first one that was like noticeable, where I was like sure that it was an earthquake and not a truck. Because it was like shaking, and earthquakes are weird where they're like very localized. So it was only shaking one wall of the house. So I thought that the neighbors were doing some work.
There we go.
Yeah, you just got a bonk.
Obviously, it's a little more helpful when he's being distracted, but you know.
And when you're not being distracted by having to repair.
Mm.
For those of you who don't know, that big hunk of iron has very high durability, so it's hard for it to break.
And I have the crown.
Which is like the main problem with this boss. Hey, Gurgi. Hey.
My two-handing nothing. My hands just together.
Hey, buddy.
That's so goofy.
You wanna come hang out? Hi. Yeah.
I punch with the Lord. Praying.
Yeah, buddy, you can sit down.
He's so timid. Everything's all different, huh, buddy? Alright, well, I guess the next thing that we can do, now that we're done the Sunken DLC, is we can try to finish up the Iron Keep. Unfortunately, I have to fight the Fume Knight in the Iron Keep, which probably means I will not successfully complete it for you guys.
Hate to break it to you, Adam, but climate change caused the earthquake. Oh, did it? I totally bought the hurricanes getting more intense with more precipitation, etc. More water in the atmosphere. But the scientist who came out with that theory...
Yeah, they took it back.
Yeah, she said it was...
More blood, I guess? Or do you think something else?
I guess more Equipload will let you hold more smelter hammers. I would pop it into... I don't know, strength maybe? What do you get for strength?
You get 1 point of attack.
1 point of damage, and what do you get for health?
Nothing. It's like 20.
Yeah.
It'll stay 20 up until you hit 30, and then it'll go down significantly again.
I don't know. So is it worth like...
Popping in an extra 20 health?
It feels like you're getting your biggest return going up to 30. So maybe that.
Yeah, fair enough. I like being alive for longer.
Maybe next, grab a point of Equipload if you want to have lots of nice armor and stuff.
Yeah, I do like looking cool.
What does Int do or Faith? Int raises your magic damage. Faith raises your miracle damage. They both slightly raise your casting speed, but Attunement, which raises the amount of spells you can have equipped, and slightly increases the amount of castings of spells you have. Attunement also increases your casting speed significantly.
Flatten.
Yeah, that's the like if someone's blocking, they just get like slapped to the floor.
Yeah, right. Thinking if there's a better weapon I should be using against Fume Knight. I could use the cool puzzling sword.
Oh yeah, show people. Show people the power attack.
Eh?
Do the 2-hit combo with the power attack.
Okay. It's kind of feminine, I gotta say.
Do the one-handed one. And then the follow-up.
Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see how far that stabs,
Yeah,
but it's like... Yeah, it's
Yeah.
quite a distance on the... There's an infinite
quite
combo
fast.
with the puzzle sword. I don't know how you do it, but if I looked up the page, it only matters for like PvP basically. But
most people are recommending fast plays for the Fume Knight. So I don't know, maybe that is the direction I should be going in. It is a very pretty sword. They made it look real good.
so was there really that many videos of people filming and then getting interrupted while from the earthquake? The earthquake was not that significant where I was, but
No.
again, earthquakes are very localized for whatever reason. They're very specific. So like, there I think there were 2 earthquakes, or there was an aftershock, or whatever it is. So one side of the house was shaking the first time, just the wall on one side of the house. Then the next time, I could tell that outside there was like a shaking, but it was just kind of slightly vibrating, like a little bit of one side of the house. Like it wasn't really like in the floor, kind of. Like it, you know, a little bit, but it feels very location based, despite it being the entire like earth vibrating. For some reason, however the vibrations like filter out, it just like you could be standing someplace and not feel it, and then someone at like 20 feet away feels it.
Right. It's puzzle sword time. First.
Yeah. It snows only in February here. I blame climate change for that. Fall also doesn't exist anymore. We just have less hot summer until it snows in February randomly. So the lack of fall is because of an increased like CO2, but it's not climate change, I think anyway, is caused by... Man, you're just going at him with an actual puzzle sword?
Yeah, why not? Make it a little bit fun.
Alright. So as far as I understand it, climate change is caused by, or global warming or whatever, is caused by extra CO2 in the atmosphere. At least that's the theory. The trees...
I got hit by all of those.
The trees not losing their... us not having a normal fall, where just all of a sudden the trees just like turn brown instead of like that beautiful changing of the leaves, that is caused by lots more CO2, because it makes the trees more healthy so they don't lose their leaves as quickly, because they're consuming all this excess CO2.
Yeah.
At least that's the theory. My dad did a research project on it in college where he like, you know, looked at the trees by intersections where cars are idling a lot and how they're much healthier there.
Fat fucking legs.
But it's a problem because we had something in New Jersey. I don't know if it was like everywhere, but there was an event people called Snowpocalypse, which was in the fall, not in the fall, but the trees hadn't lost their leaves. They were all holding on to their leaves very well. And then it snowed it was a kind of like a blizzard, like a heavy snowstorm. And there was so much snow weighing down the trees, all the branches got ripped off, because that's part of why trees lose their leaves in the winter is like, well, not part of why, but like part of the benefit of it, right? The reason that trees can exist in places with lots of snow is because they're losing their leaves. Whereas like pine trees, they're sort of, how they're shaped, the snow will, they're conical, they're like, you know, cone, so like it falls off the pine trees. It ripped all the branches down that were hanging over the road, and so it was a disaster. There was broken branches everywhere. So, yeah. Both caused by CO2, assumedly, but it's like much more certain that the trees don't lose their leaves when there's lots of CO2, which is caused by lots more people having cars and stuff. Theoretically, anyway. Lightning struck a tree here and set off the house alarm. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, lightning struck a tree by us and burned out our alarm years ago. Well, not years ago, a year ago, I guess. And then we had to have it fixed. Oh, so you're in PA, Gabe? I guess you would have felt the earthquake too. People forget about the one like 5 years ago. There was another earthquake? Or, I don't know. I'm like behind on chat. Climate zones have changed for gardens. Interesting. CO2 is good for plants, though? It is. Yes, yes.
Alrighty. Let's go back to doing damage, I suppose.
I could go for an ice age. In the 80s, people were concerned about global cooling. I'm down. That's the question, right? Are we experiencing overall global warming or a reversal of the cooling trend from the 80s?
They're always changing their mind, so. It's starting to get a little hot. Ooh. My computer's heating up, guys.
Get ice storms where the hot air pushes up and melts the snow, but still so cold at the ground the rain freezes on contact. Interesting. I remember the most beautiful natural phenomenon I saw was we had a blizzard of super dry, super light snow that blew in the wind and formed these big snow drifts, like sand dunes. It was gorgeous. And then we had this like pouring rain. And I was so disappointed because the snow looked so beautiful. I was like watching it for hours and hours, like out the window, you know, reading and like sitting by the window and stuff. It was magical. And then the rain came down. I was like, oh, it's gonna melt all the snow. But then it froze. There was this like big cold snap. And then there was these frozen like ocean waves of snow just completely frozen. And then all of the trees had this sheen of ice. They were all frozen in place like that. Oh man.
I just don't dodge fast enough.
That swing is so like, with the sound it makes and stuff, it's so scary sounding. It was so gorgeous, and the ice was so thick, I could stand on it without it breaking. And it was very textured, like ocean waves would be. So there's lots of like ripples still frozen in it. Must have frozen very quickly. And it was so quiet. Nobody was out. Nobody even tried to plow. Everything was frozen solid. And I remember like going to this park that had I walked very far, and I went to this park that had there's like a, you know, cars can go through and park. And the whole road was submerged because, you know, you couldn't even tell where the road was really. So it was this super alien like landscape, and there's like these chain link fences, and you could just see the top kind of peeking out from the icy frozen like snow drifts. It was gorgeous. If you want the mage guy, you could go get him.
Is he better?
I don't think so. I don't think either of them
either of them aren't very good.
Yeah. How do nations in the Arctic Circle in Europe grow crops without sunlight? I don't know. They do have sunlight. They just have less of it. Fun fact, England is in the Arctic Circle, I believe. I don't think they have like the weird sunlight thing though from being too high up. But the reason England isn't like an Arctic country, the reason it's not super cold is because there's a current of air that goes up from the Caribbean, up from the tropics, flows hot air over into the freezing air around England, and then it mixes, and that's why it's always misting, always raining, because it's the condensation of that hot stream of air meeting the naturally cold air at the north.
I thought he was gonna do his other attack.
Oh, you know, speaking of the 1800s, sorry, I should read chat out loud, but Neva was saying that there's many temperature fluctuations in history. I don't know what the real science is, because...
Well, they can't track it. They're very far back.
Yeah, I mean, because if you say that global warming isn't real, you're in trouble. So it's hard to take global warming seriously when there's this, orthodoxy of, you have to say this or you're wrong.
Right.
Or you're evil. So it's hard to know, what science is even correct anymore. Just the age of misinformation or whatever. But an interesting, speaking of the 1800s when, I'm sure there was a bunch of climate events, super interesting event was the year without summer. This was a year, as you might imagine, where there was no summer. It snowed year-round, and it was quite dark. This is because a volcano in India erupted and blotted out the sun on most of the planet. And this was the year where a group of friends went on their typical vacation, where they would all go to a nice lake out in the countryside. I forget where precisely they went. But because it wasn't very nice weather, a lot of people decided to skip their vacation, but this group of friends, they all wanted to see each other. And it was more about company than spending a nice time on a sunny...
I thought it was far enough away. That's how they get you.
Yeah, so it was more about spending time with friends than spending time around a sunny lake. And because it was rather... So it was a group of writers, and because it was...
Really? Behind you, too?
Yeah, that's kind of like the shit with Dark Souls. It's like, even with no momentum, it still does full damage. No. So it was a group of writers, and they would entertain each other with little stories. And because it was so spooky out, they were all like, oh, we should write horror stories. And then they read them to each other when they got together for dinner, like late at night or whatever.
Again. Yep. Alright. Get the fuck out of Ellie's way over here. And there she goes.
And amongst these, this group of friends was...
Right. Again.
Bram Stoker and Mary Shelley, I think it was. So that's this was when so Dracula and Frankenstein were written on the same vacation by two friends that were competing to write horror stories with each other to entertain each other. So it's a very cool setting to write a story by. I could imagine being very inspired. Even just hearing about it is pretty cool. And so they were the only people on vacation around the lake. No one else was renting out any houses, so it was a very isolated feeling. They were all alone, dreaming up horror stories.
Spooky.
Very cool. I like Iceland. Want to go there someday? Yeah. Iceland seems nice. The greenhouse effect that promotes plant life. The Earth was mostly tropical in the history. Hey, listen. You might live in Florida. Not everyone wants to live in Florida. We've got to stop this. No, seriously though, I would prefer the planet to be much colder. I prefer cold temperatures. You can sleep in the cold.
You can sleep in the cold.
When it's hot, you just sweaty and
Yeah, you just
congested.
can't sleep. It's not possible.
Collaboration among many people that are good at the craft is always good, and that is why medical discoveries are freely published and shared. Well, they should be freely published and shared. I know people always cite lithium as a big shame in the medical field, because it was discovered that lithium could help with a couple of different things, bipolar being one of them. But because it was just an element, it was very difficult to patent it or anything. So they sat on it for several years before they came out with the discovery. Oh, come on, you don't like humid weather and mosquitoes? I don't. I would like total mosquito death. Oh, nice. Blue was an unheard of concept. That is that's wrong. You know that's not true. There's some kind of I know what you're referring to. There's some kind of article where I don't know how this got started. It was some I fucking love science thing where they're like, ancient Romans didn't know what blue was. It's
Fucking get him, Ellie. Get him.
They had no color for blue. Get the fuck out of here. They didn't have a color for blue. They had people with blue eyes.
Right there. He one-shot me, so I don't...
What do they call their eyes? They're just their eyes are
Wish I had a jumping attack. Not in this game.
Blue is a primary color. They would, of course, have a word for blue. There's also... People also claim they didn't have a color for red.
Who's they?
It's some guy who wrote an I fucking love science article. I don't know. There's always that. This I feel like every couple of years there'll be a new guy will be like, did you know that people in ancient times were actually retarded? And
People in ancient times used to not love science. What a bunch of idiots.
You could imagine a world where purple was never invented, right? Because just somehow they never mixed red and
color
blue.
Of outer space.
But because blue is because blue is it's a primary color. You just can't have a world where blue isn't a thing. I've seen mosaics in Italy from the Roman Empire, and they had blue. So they put it in things. I saw ancient buildings with blue on them.
I saw it.
What? Did they just put it there and then they're like, "What's that color?" No fucking
I
idea.
don't fucking know, man.
Claudius, I have no idea.
It's not red.
We don't. There's no word for it. It's like, what do you want to call it? It's like, we cannot stop. Cease. We have no word for this. Like but someone was claiming that they didn't have a word for red because they called things wine colored, and they're like, well, if you look at wine, it's not really red. It's like, yeah, okay.
That's not.
Nice.
Oh, now? Yeah, whatever. Pop another one. Oh, not that move.
Blue was a shade of green. Jesus Christ.
Man, the amount of, like, chain combos he just, like, randomly does.
Adam, can you paint or make any art? No. I did make a fake cover for for Horizon Quest at some point.
Oh, yes, the variant.
Yeah, there was like an April Fool's thing or something. It's like, oh, we've got a new artist. But it was yeah. That's about the extent of my abilities. I don't know where that would be. But,
on the internet.
Yeah.
Go find. Right? That's all I can do.
You didn't help that Royalty would come out and claim only I can wear the new color that we can produce. Okay, so the thing about purple, lots of people wore purple. Lots of poor people wore purple. Lots of rich people wore purple. There was, however, I forget what it's called, but there's a specific purple dye which is ruinously expensive, and or was ruinously expensive, and the Emperor came out and banned it for anyone but like a very limited few. And this is an important economic decision. This is not like some classist thing. If you look at the way that like an unmitigated like economic like rush ends up, like the tulip fever, was it tulips? Yeah, tulip fever in like the Netherlands. That was such a shit show. Like, I just learning about that in like not even an economic class, just like AP Euro. What a shit show. There were people growing bichromatic tulips, and then there was like 4-color tulips and 3-color tulips and 5-color tulips, and then there was flower farmers selling the futures market. It was the invention of the futures market. People were selling flowers that had not yet been grown. They were selling bulbs that had not yet sprouted, and it eventually caused the like total economic collapse of the country. Not to mention the famine, etc. To get this purple dye, you need to have like you need to get a bunch of shells. So you need to have fishermen not providing food. It's a very dangerous thing to do for an empire, to tell people that normally get food that they can make lots more money getting no food. We also saw a similar problem in the United States pre-1776 with the like white pine rush, where everyone was...
Yeah, he keeps on going into his second phase so early.
Because he knows you're a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, I guess so.
Where there was a bunch of people... That's a whole... like that was a whole situation, but essentially, England had a big supply. They had a big demand for 100-foot masts, and the U.S. could provide it, and everywhere else was kind of blocked by treaties with Spain, and they were at war with Spain, and they needed a big navy because Spain had a big navy. So there was a huge price on
Oh,
now? Just you and him. Here we go!
it's so bad. If only my stamina recovered faster.
I know.
Like it does in Elden Ring.
If only that roll stab wasn't terrible.
I know, it's terrible. And I can't not do it, you know? They don't really give you that option.
Maybe common because of beets? I don't know. There's like a lighter purple that was much more common for like togas and stuff. Or not togas, but... royal purple from snails. It's not called... Is it Tyrian? I think it's Tyrian. Is it Tyrian purple? The Phoenician thing. Yes. Tyrian. Tyrian purple. That was what was restricted to only very few people. Because otherwise, people of like that were in a rich strata that would want to elevate themselves would pay any price to appear greater, and this would just cause a cockfight that would just end the economy. I remember watching a pre-Aliens History Channel show, like pre-Ancient Aliens. Yeah. They were dating skulls and carbon before carbon dating was a thing. Yeah, I mean, it is worth mentioning that like History Channel for forever has always had like some kind of inaccuracies. Legit, if I have kids, I'm gonna be feeding them the toughest ass overcooked meat so they get the biggest jaws possible and don't have as much tooth crowding. Fuck yeah. Only thing I'm curious on is the placement of the pyramids. It's probably aliens. Processed foods literally makes your mouth smaller. Do you mew, bro? Do you know what mewing is? It's like you're supposed to be training yourself to have your passive position of your tongue be pressing against the roof of your mouth, and that expands the amount of space you have like inside your nose. Makes it much easier to breathe. It also makes your jaw bigger. Mainly because people say it's the exact center of the Earth, something like that. I think most of the Ancient Aliens shows placing any significance on a bunch of stacked blocks are just trying to lure in the boomers to watch the History Channel. It's kind of funny. The history the History Channel, they launched a bunch of shows to try and revitalize interest in the History Channel, and like there was a couple shows that did well. One of them was a very high budget historical drama that was like basically a documentary retelling but with lots of like acted out scenes.
Yeah.
And then the other one was Ancient Aliens and they're like, fuck yeah, cheapest shit, we just interview a bunch of idiots. Don't need to pay them anything, they're just desperate to sell their books.
Seeking the truth. Oh boy.
My dad burned all of our steaks growing up. And my dentist said, oh, you're lucky all your wisdom teeth came in straight. I liked the universe, but then it became the black hole show and it became boring. I can feel that.
Oops. Yeah, that was good timing.
Get him, Ellie.
I should have got him like 2 minutes ago, before I got like hit.
You drink the Sunny D so slowly that it seems like you're not in any danger, like you're just posing for a commercial.
You see how quick he like goes into his second phase with me? Is that because I'm doing more damage fast, or... Oh, not that shit. Ugh.
I don't know. I mean, you're about halfway.
Ellie. Literally in my way. I'm trying not to die here. Can you please move aside?
You were doing super good, though.
I dodged the wrong direction because of the... Well, you already know.
JB asks, are you over-leveled?
Am I over-leveled?
If she was over-leveled, she would be, like, blasting this guy.
How... Well, I don't know. What's the required level to even fight this guy?
I don't know. I would guess like it's over 100 probably.
Well, at the very least, since it's DLC. This is what a lot of people refer to as like the hardest boss in Dark Souls 2, or like one
or
of
at least
the
the best designed. Yeah. People, some people say he's the hardest boss. I think he's a pretty random boss, if I'm being honest.
He feels very random. That's what makes it very difficult for me.
He doesn't feel like he's unfair exactly. It just feels like
it doesn't feel like he should be as hard as he is.
It feels like some of the moves are like obviously much more effective. So when he just chooses not to use them, it's kind of much easier.
Yeah. Like that. Sometimes he doesn't do that third hit. Sometimes he does.
So we have the most unhinged level recommendations for this. 3 people answered the question. One says 215, another says 98, and then another says 140.
There's a lot of different answers. And now he's on me? Alright, well... Dodging sometimes feels useless with this guy also. It feels like even if you visually dodged out of the way, you still are seeing damage tick up. Like that? Like fucking that?
Oh, that's what I had to do here. There's a smelter demon somewhere. A blue smelter demon I never found. Or did I find them? Maybe I did find them. You're still kicking the shit out of this guy. You're getting him phase 2, like, every time.
I mean, that time, funny enough, he didn't go into phase 2. But he was lower. He was lower that time. He just didn't go into the second phase.
You didn't let him beat the shit out of him.
Yeah. Well, I'm not beating him enough. obviously, and this goes without saying, but the less he's focused on me, the more I can beat the shit out of him. And that is the only tactical advantage that you get from using summons. The only one. Because otherwise, they're just increasing the boss's health. As you can see, by looking at Ellie, she is not putting out damage.
Well, we've got a bunch of complaints about this boss. His arms have hitboxes.
I did notice that, yes.
Also, a lot of people say that he's much easier with a low equip load because...
Yeah, because they need the dodge.
Yeah, the distance you cover...
It increases.
Yeah.
I've tried them on low equip load, too.
Discovery lost all their
I feel
credibility
like
when they
this is
had the
fine.
Our Mermaids reel and the Megalodons still around.
Yeah.
My uncle, like, called me about the Mermaids thing, and I was like...
Oh, boy.
He's like, no, it's on Discovery. It's a legit channel.
It's legit.
I was like...
I saw it on TV.
I'm like... Uncle Jimmy... Mermaids are not real.
Everything on TV is real.
Poor boomers. The most propagandized generation.
Legit.
Talking to my goddamn uncle, and he's like, oh, but like the Greeks, every general had a male child sex slave, and I'm like, listen, you went to school during the sexual revolution. That was at the height of like bullshit being put into schools. You have to understand does that not sound fake and gay? Literally fake and gay.
She was putting out way more hits than me, but he just like changed his mind.
My dad thinks that black holes in Afghanistan giants in Afghanistan are real, but black holes aren't. Holy shit. I just watch stuff on YouTube when I want history. Safer. Yeah. TLC, history, everything being about like hoarders and child beauty pageants and stuff. I concur. Is stupid. I have a coworker who believes in Bigfoot. I believe in Bigfoot as far as there was once a monkey that escaped from a zoo in Texas and was found dead. So I guess that's Bigfoot. He is now dead. End of story.
No, it's a good thing we took care of him.
I think he actually died of natural causes.
Yeah, I'm just lying.
Because it's a gorilla and didn't find any bananas.
That's what they want you to believe, man.
I mean, it would be quite the entertaining conspiracy. I saw the monkey corpse. Like, there's pictures of it. So maybe to cover up Bigfoot, they dragged a monkey out of the zoo and shot it. And were like, natural causes. Couldn't find no bananas out here now. Now stop asking questions, kid.
Oh my god, this fucking sword.
My dad's also a certifiably a lead brain. Damn. Hey, Red Wolf. TIK History is the best history channel on YouTube. Did you guys know that Hitler was a British agent? Okay. Super deep cover.
Now. Like 2 seconds ago, he was interested in Ellie, and then he's like, actually, Never mind. Man, goes by so quick.
Yeah. It's a cool fight though. He is a cool enemy. He has cool attacks and stuff. His sword looks like shit though.
I think he looks very basic, and if I were gonna say what boss is the hardest boss in Dark Souls 2 based on visuals alone, he would probably be bottom tier. I think that's
You
what
mean
bugs me
who
about
the best is visually?
who if I were to guess who the hardest
Oh,
is
got it. You would, yeah.
based on visuals,
Yeah, he
he would
wouldn't-
be very bottom tier.
Well, what about like Covetous Demon?
He would also be bottom tier. They look very. He looks very basic bitch, you know?
There are regular enemies that look about the same as him, just a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
The sword effects, though, are quite spooky combined with the audio that they use. Like, it's like very.
Man, she's slow too. Useless. Now let my dance inspire you. Fucking start dancing mid-fight.
Fucking this guy up.
For now. Wait until he uses like the moves that I can't do anything about. Come on, Ellie. Show him your steel heart.
Don't show it.
Fucking shut up.
Keep your heart in your chest. That was the most accidentally swagger dodge of that horizontal. Because, like, when you swung the sword super. Fuck yeah, man.
It's exhausting. Oh, fuck. If he just didn't move. If he just didn't move, that would be game. The problem is he did move. That's where we lost it.
Love to Draw had an intricate plan to take his Japanese teacher who was big into cryptids out drinking and then have a friend in a Bigfoot costume cross the road.
Uh-huh.
That's it. That's the story.
Nice.
Didn't happen, but
It's the thought that counts.
Is it cold outside? I could use some cool air.
Yeah, it like literally fucking roll con me to the point of actually moving my body as I was rolling.
Oh, like with his leg or something?
No, with the sword. Like as he's like turning, you know how they do those moonwalk turns while you're moving?
Yeah, I get killed in Elden Ring by the magma guy. His head pushed me. Like while he wasn't attacking, he pushed me into the lava. And that like did half my health somehow. I don't know if it was because the mod overhaul makes it harder.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm beginning to think that isn't water in the bottle, Adam. This one is G Fuel. And this one is water.
You're not gonna bump your G Fuel?
No, I'm not gonna bump the G Fuel. One nostril is like mostly clogged, but I took Claritin at like 4 a.m. Like I woke up, could not sleep because I was so congested, and took it at like 4:30 a.m. and it is not 4:30 a.m. now. So I'm like, can I take another Claritin? Because like earlier today I was like super congested. It, like heat congests me, and like cool air opens up my sinuses. I do not know why. I know it's not.
I don't know why. It's like the opposite for me.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he needs some bump? Yeah, that's a really funny product. I was kind of surprised you didn't check out their channel and see what other, like, unhinged content they have.
Yeah, well, YouTube Shorts is a little bit finicky with that shit.
Mm.
I dodged. I don't know what...
There's just like an Associated Press video where there's a scientist who's talking about how you can skip the coffee and inhale your caffeine directly.
Wow.
But like this,
so convenient.
But like, look at the scientist's like eyes. Like, don't they look like someone who's had way too much inhaled caffeine? They have these like. It looks like they've been like the bags under their eyes are so dark and so like they're so wide spreading down.
I haven't slept for days.
It's like to their cheekbones. The bags under their eyes reach all the way to the tops of their cheekbones. It looks like they've been punched out. Like they're like cracked out of their mind, and they're like, yeah, you can just inhale caffeine. It's fine.
She's inhaling a lot more than that.
Bigfoot was real, but they went extinct in the 1950s. Now whenever someone says they see Bigfoot, they're really seeing a ghost of Bigfoot. That's why they leave no evidence.
Oh yeah, the ghosts, of course.
One clogged nostril sucks. Daily issue since I live in a forest. Ugh. I don't know if this counts as a cryptid, but in the 1850s, the army imported camels, and supposedly their descendants are still roaming the desert. My new deodorant said, "Push up bottom. I'm uncomfortable, but my farts smell awesome." Okay. That is like the most boomer joke because no one even knows what that is. Like a push-up deodorant. And I know no one knows what that is
What
because
the fuck was that?
that was
That was some great
that was a
bullshit.
transcendent hitbox. That was like the forbidden magics lost in the Iron Keep.
Yeah, that's what it was.
If you guys are wondering how Trisha can swing directions that aren't facing towards the guy she's locked onto, it's a unique trait of this sword that lets you miss like that.
It's not even that. He moved last second. I wasn't pressing any direction.
Zoomers don't use deodorant. No, Zoomers use deodorant, but everyone uses a twist-up thing. The push-up deodorants is like ancient technology. And it's like something we have to deal with Stone Clean because like it's so expensive to get your hands on those twist-up deodorant things, but the push-up ones are like a third the cost, so it's like...
Alright, I think that's it for tonight.
Fair enough. You put on a cool show. I enjoyed watching you fight it out with this guy. Yeah. So, but like nobody knows what that is, the push-up deodorant things. And it's always like, I don't know. How do you explain to people, like...
Alright, I can't.
Yeah.
What's this?
Like my dad'll talk to people being like, oh yeah, it's what, you know, the old like push-up deodorant things. It's like they were born with electricity. They don't know what push-up deodorant things are. There's no like mainstream company that sells push-up deodorant. At least that I'm aware of. There's spray on and then there's like the twist things.
I have no fucking idea.
You know how like a push pop works? Right?
Yeah.
They look like basically it's the same mechanism.
Mm.
Nobody uses that.
Yeah.
Except for Stone Clean soap customers. Whatever few ones get the deodorant.
Well, you don't even have it listed, right?
Twist up bottom would still work, maybe even better. 100% it works better because it doesn't slide, it doesn't fall back down after you're done. It's 100% a better. You just take the cap off and you put the deodorant on. It's always like there, and then if you need more, you twist it higher. It's better, and that's why it's 3 times the cost. That's why those, you know.
It makes too much logical sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Zoomers use Axe instead of showers because they don't own showers. Roll-on is the other option, yeah. I don't understand how roll-on works, but I think roll-on is also... I don't know. Roll-on's like applying a gel, right?
I believe so.
That's the other thing that's easy for my dad to make. Even easier than the push-up deodorants. So he makes a lot of those now.
Mm.
He meant for the joke. Hold on. I'll figure it out.
Hmm? What's going on?
Oh, twist up bottom would still work for the joke. Got it. Yeah.
Ah, gotcha.
Twist up bottom.
Cool. Anyway, Reaper Book 1, funding on Indiegogo. If you have not checked out the comic yet, please do. Link is in the description. We have 10 more days left to get this thing funded, and we're almost there.
Yeah.
So all we need is a little extra push.
Speaking of shoving deodorant up your ass, Reaper Book 1.
Yes. Speaking of snorting caffeine and shoving deodorant up your ass, buy my comic.
Buy my comic.
Alrighty. Yeah, we can probably get the fume night another time, but I'm just already tired and I'm kinda cranky. So I just don't want to do it right now, you know? Part of the reason why I don't like this boss, which Adam and I already mentioned, but just like the randomness makes it feel like I'm just entering the lottery every time I enter the boss room. Like, it feels like how well I do has to do with a lot more of chance instead of skill sometimes. Like, sometimes he just does a perfect combination of moves that just will kill me, and I can't do anything about it. Or, sometimes, you know, it's just chance. That's what it feels like. Just because he's so random.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you laughing at? Oh, nothing useful.
No, it's just Marshall. It's Marshall's fault.
Okay. I believe
He
you.
just said Zoomer's boofing right guard. Right guard's like a deodorant brand, I think. And boofing would be getting high by like shoving something up your ass.
Why do you know that term?
I've been to middle school.
You've been to liberal arts college.
God damn.
Yeah, that's weird. Anyway. Buy my comic.
Yeah, anyway,
Yeah.
speaking of... So tell me, in Reaper, does anyone
Poof.
does anyone boof any?
And sniff caffeine.
Yeah, and snort caffeine.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, right? With like, someone commented on your like live stream. They're like, oh, you could use this to poison someone. I bought powdered caffeine to like. Instead of using G Fuel, I thought maybe I could be like healthier and just have like powdered caffeine and
Yeah,
mix
that's
of vitamins
right.
and stuff. It is harder to like convince myself to drink it, or to like remember to drink it when it doesn't have like the flavoring, which is just a reality of it. Is like I just will drink less if it's not pleasant tasting, and if I drink less, I'm focusing less, I'm getting less work done. So. It's also easier to fast because in order to flavor it, I would mix juice with it, with the powdered caffeine. This doesn't let me fast, so it's just easier to have G Fuel.
Yeah, the funny thing with G Fuel is because it's so sweet, I always, like, if I ever drink it, I always put, like, significantly less powder in because I prefer it to be less sweet than what their proportioned powder is. But can't say I'm a big fan of the mixing the G Fuel powder to get your caffeine. I think I'd rather have it all pre-mixed in cans already.
Yeah, I wonder what
Because you also don't get the dyes in the canned versions.
It's so much easier to... Well, the G Fuel that I have doesn't have dyes, but there's only 3 flavors that don't have dyes. Because I cannot function with red dye number 40 in my brain. It is not good for my thinking. It's so dramatically noticeable. Even the yellow dye I had like from whatever holiday garbage.
Right.
That like fucked my brain for a couple days. So it's like it's not at all worth it. But yeah, the reason I would go for powdered caffeine is just because it's significantly cheaper than having like pre-mixed drinks like in cans.
Right.
And I don't really do coffee, right? So
yeah.
So it's like a cost thing. And I assume the Bump product is like ridiculously overpriced powdered caffeine.
I would assume so, yeah.
The other thing with powdered caffeine, right, is like you can kill yourself.
Yes.
And it's just like, how often do I want to put myself in a position where I could accidentally kill myself?
Assuming that it is like legit, they will probably have a lot of lawsuits on their hands.
Why wouldn't it be legit? I mean, like you can buy powdered caffeine. Like I have it.
Yeah, but they're advertising for snorting it.
Oh yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
The whole snorting thing that like fucks up your nasal passageways. I assume that's no good for anybody. Here, the thing with that is, right, it would be much better to gum the caffeine, like rub it like under your gums, like real
right.
real coke heads, like just like coke heads.
Real cowboy.
Yeah, like you gumming the fucking like if at the point where you're gumming your caffeine or snorting your caffeine, you might have a problem.
You might have an issue, yeah.
You might have a real fucking problem. I don't know. Nobody's seen this movie, but they're Ginger Snaps 3. I believe it's the third one. The girl is taking wolfsbane to prevent herself from turning into a werewolf after she's been infected.
Mm-hmm.
And then she can't inject it or whatever because that like leaves track marks and she's in like a rehab place. She uses an eyedropper to put it into her eyes to get it into her system. So, you know, just eyedroppers full of caffeine. Just like,
oh my god, yeah, right.
I bet that would burn like shit.
That would be horrible.
That would burn like crazy.
Oh god, rather the injection.
I completely weaned myself off of caffeine. It was the worst month of my life, but I'm so much happier now. I don't get any highs, but there are no lows either. It's probably a good, that's probably a good like a good way to live. The reason I don't do that is because I have ADD, and you just do need to treat that with something, and to be productive, it's just you just got to treat it with something.
Are you joining us for the end of the stream, Greggy?
Yeah.
No.
A doctor would prescribe like amphetamines, like Ritalin or something, but caffeine does the same thing, and it's way less scary than like fucking cocaine. So, you know, I take caffeine regularly to get work done, and then theoretically I detox occasionally. But
yeah, obviously it works a lot better once you've detoxed for a while.
Yeah, if you don't have like a focusing issue like I do, probably. And it's difficult because it's not like I lack motivation. I'll be like trying to work really hard for like, and then I'll look and it'll be 3 hours. I'll get like nothing done. It's very frustrating because I'm like actively thinking about the thing and like working on the thing. It's just like, it just doesn't, you know.
Yeah. It's rough.
There's a plot point in It's Always Sunny. They were gumming coke because it's classy. Okay. Gonna gum their bump. I looked up their YouTube page and I didn't watch any of the videos, but just like looking at their array of like their video selection, just the thumbnails, it just looks like the most like coked out like shit.
Is that guy supposed to be like the founder or something?
No, this is someone from some podcast.
Oh, like sponsoring. That's a bad idea. You don't want to be linked with these guys. They're gonna get the shit suit out of them.
The Bump YouTube channel has 232 subscribers.
Yeah.
More subscribers than me, probably, but...
We can change that.
I didn't spend that advertising money.
Go subscribe to Adam Meisner on YouTube. And Rumble. Yeah, honestly, Google will take fucking anyone when it comes to advertising. Like, they will literally advertise phishing link ads all the time. And you can report them, and nothing changes. Google just does not care. No standards whatsoever. But yeah, I think it's safe to say you should not get any bump.
What about my new product, Caffeinai?
Caffeinai?
Where you just eyedroppers.
Put it in your eye.
You pour it right into your eyes.
Yeah.
So then you absorb it through your tear ducts. And you can get dyed caffeinai, so it'll be like red, like blood. So it'll look like you're crying blood as you're crying, because you just irritated the shit out of your eyes. So it'd be kind of like biblical, you know?
Yeah. If you want to, like, Role play as your OC. Alright, well, I think we should call it a night, everyone.
Speaking of advertisements, my Nook book.
Your Nook?
No, I was just reading chat.
Ah.
No, you could. Speaking of advertisements, Reaper Book 1.
Ah, yes. Reaper Book 1 now funding on Indiegogo. 10 more days left. 10. Just 10. We're counting down. Not much time left.
Hey, Greg, you want to say goodbye to the stream? Want to say goodbye to the stream? Go over here.
He said goodbye now. He's a rug. He's turned into rug. Aww. He's like, why are you trying to keep me awake? I just want to sleep. I just want to become rug.
Okay, well, I swear this is a dog, not a really ugly throw pillow.
A tan throw pillow.
Yeah, see, here's a doggy collar.
Oh. Oh, is that the spot?
Is that the spot?
Oh, I like it. Oh.
Is that the spot, Kirky? Oh. How do we go over here? Will you push your neck into me there? Oh.
Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you for joining us for another Dannphan stream. We'll, I don't know, will we have time to do another one tomorrow? We might be a little busy, yeah.
No, we're not doing one tomorrow.
Yeah. So, we'll see you, later next week.
Yeah, at some point.
Late next week, yeah. Because we're gonna go on a road trip. And that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, we're gonna go see the eclipse.
Woo! Or, well, you know, see in quotes.
Well, we're gonna have the glasses for it.
Yeah. We're gonna be wearing the proper eye protection, as you should too.
Yeah, we're not gonna be goddamn
glaring
retarded.
into the solar eclipse, yeah.
We used to have this friend who worked at like a desk for a doctor. She's scheduling appointments, and this lady's like, "Oh no, that appointment would be during the eclipse. I better change it. Yeah, I don't want to be driving during that." And then she's telling a story. She's like, "Haha, I didn't know how to tell them they're so stupid for thinking that it'll hurt your eyes to look at the eclipse." And then I was like, "No, I'm pretty sure
pretty sure you'll go blind."
Yeah, I was like, "I'm pretty sure you'll go blind." I was like, "I'll look it up though." And then I look it up and it's like, "Yeah, don't look at the eclipse. Big bold, like you will go blind." And then, or there's a high chance you could go blind. But lo and behold, she went out with her coworker and stared at took a break from being a person at a nurse's desk at a doctor's office or whatever, and just stared at the eclipse. It's great idea.
Yeah. She's like, "Oh, well, they were a lot of clouds."
But there are cases of people that have gone blind from glancing at it. There's it's much more common, not permanently blind usually, but that has happened too. Usually people glance at it and go blind for a couple hours.
Yeah, you gotta take proper precautions.
The big reason is because with the during an eclipse, this is blocking the light, but the radiation is shooting straight through the moon, like it doesn't stop. So you're getting a full dose straight into your eyeballs without your pupils contracting to protect them.
Yeah, it's also like condensed light and radiation for the parts that aren't getting blocked.
How did I get roped into a belly scratch? How'd this happen? How'd this happen? You wanna wave?
Your pausies.
You wanna wave out in the stream?
Alright,
Sure.
well, we'll let you know how the eclipse was. Maybe show you some camera footage, possibly of me going blind. We'll see.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks for
on
hanging out,
Dannphan.
guys. Good night.